What's up, what's up, what's up? It's your man ChazzEllis once again answering the questions that you ask me. Make sure you go to the ChazzEllisProject.com, get a consultation or a quick question, or just make a donation to help keep us going. I appreciate everybody who's already made donations. Thank you. That keeps us going, keeps me being able to do these videos and help other people. Also, make sure you check out the live stream. That's going on Sunday night, May 3rd at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you want to know how to ask for what you want, when to do it, what way to go about it, in terms of what words to use, things of that nature, make sure you check out that live stream. Also, when you want to ask me questions during the live stream, you're going to be able to do that too. I go back and forth with people. I give people an opportunity to ask me questions. That's one of the best things about the live streams for most people. They get a chance to talk to me, and I go back and forth with you, and you can, talk to me, and I answer questions in real time. Also, make sure you check out AskChazzEllis on Facebook. I got all kind of quotes up there, videos, stuff like that I do every day. Make sure you check that out. That's AskChazzEllis on Facebook. Anyway, I did a video about the top 3 reasons why men cheat, and you know how people are. They ask me, give me the reasons why women cheat. Well, the thing about me that you got to understand is I talk to hundreds of women every week. So I get a little bit more information from women than women get from women. Because I doubt you talk to 100 people about their problems or what's going on in their life. And even if you did, if they're your friends, they're not going to tell you their personal business, right? Because they'll tell you a little bit of it, but they ain't going to tell you everything because you can tell other people. I don't know you. Who can I tell? I can't tell somebody your name and stuff in your personal business because I don't even know you. I don't know nobody you know. Anyway, so that gives me a lot of information, gives me a lot of ability to be able to talk about certain things. So some people are going to get upset at this and what I'm going to talk about in this video because you're going to be like, oh, it's a double standard. Oh, you're saying this. Oh, you're saying that. Some of y'all going to get a little upset because I'm going to break down a little bit of the psychology of what you get in terms of women cheating versus what you get in terms of men cheating. Okay, the first thing you have to understand about women and men cheating is that it's a totally different thing, a totally different feeling. And right now we're going to be talking about sexual cheating, let's smash it, basically. Okay, when women do this kind of thing, for the most part, it's a totally different feeling. I'm going to be real with you. Some dudes will get mad at me for saying this, but I'm going to be 100% real. Pretty much every single man in the world will cheat under certain circumstances. There is a circumstance where it don't got to be that far out. It don't got to be that crazy. You don't have to do that much for any dude to cheat. Like, okay, here's a for instance. If you were to go 6 months without having sex with your dude, pretty much every guy would cheat. And when I say every guy would cheat, I'm not talking about if he couldn't get a girl before he met you. It's not that he's not a cheater or he's not willing to cheat under certain circumstances. It's the fact that he can't get another girl. That doesn't mean he's not a cheater. It means he just doesn't have the options. I'm talking about when a guy has the options. There was a circumstance. Now, some guys will go 6 months without getting sex and they won't cheat. Some guys will go a year without getting sex and they won't cheat. There's a set of circumstances. Pretty much, a relationship has to be everything a guy is looking for him not to cheat. And I know dudes will be like, man, why you say all that? That's just the way it is. I'm being real, being 100% honest. Some people get mad at me if they want to. I'm being 100% honest. A relationship has to be everything a guy is looking for him not to cheat. Now, for women, that's not how it is. They don't think like that. That's not their feeling. That's not their, that's just not the way that they're programmed. And some of you guys may think I'm wrong about this, but listen to what I'm saying and you'll figure it out. When you listen to these 3 reasons, you'll understand where I'm coming from. Okay. So when you listen to these 3 things, basically what it is, when you're dealing with women, you got 3 major reasons why women cheat. And this is for almost all of them across the board. Number 1 is they're young. They're young. When you're dealing with somebody who is young, that means that they have their sense of morality is developing, and women will have a rigid moral code against cheating that a lot of guys really just don't have. Like, I will not cheat on this man no matter what. But when you're dealing with somebody who's young, a lot of times they don't have that yet because they haven't been through enough to feel that way. Because women usually get this rigid moral code from getting cheated on by guys. They usually get this rigid moral code from seeing their mama get cheated on by guys. People, friends and family members and stuff like that. A lot of guys, we just don't really see that so much. So, we don't really develop that rigid moral code about it. A lot of guys don't really get there. They never do. And if they do get cheated on by a girl and feel bad, then they feel like they should be able to do it to somebody else. Just different in the way we process things. But a lot of times you're dealing with a woman that's young, she just doesn't feel that way yet. A lot of times you're dealing with a woman that's young, she doesn't feel the sense of connection. Like, I may never find somebody else. If I cheat on this person, here's what I'm losing. Women are a little bit more thought out than men in general. I'm just being real. That's not to kiss up to women or anything like that, but just the way it is. In general, women are a lot more thought out than dudes. So for that reason, a lot of times where a guy will have sex in the moment, because you got to remember, for any woman, you take average, even below average woman, she has an opportunity to have sex pretty much anytime she wants to. Like, okay, for instance, this in case you don't believe me, let's put a scenario together. Say a woman comes in there, average woman, she comes into the club wearing a short dress and be like, hey, who's going to take me home? There's going to be a line of thirsty ass dudes that's going to be like, oh my God, I can't wait to see. We seen it. We all, guys, come on. We all seen that. We all been to the club. Some girl was twerking and dudes buying her drinks. She wasn't even that cute. Come on. Now, let some guy do that. Some average dude that doesn't play in the NBA or something like that. Let him try that crap. He going home by himself walking. Right? So for women, a lot of times the conquest is not going to be a conquest there. So when they find a guy that they really care about, they're going to think about everything that they're going to lose if they sleep with this other guy. But when they're young and they're still developing, a lot of times they don't think about that. Now, this also applies to women that you got with when she was really young. Like, say you got with a girl when she was like 16 years old, y'all were in high school. A lot of times, that woman will cheat on you down the road because she's young. She may be 34 now, but when you got together, she was young. She didn't get that opportunity to see the world, see how things went, see the fact that really it ain't a lot of good dudes out here that gonna want to be with her. She doesn't know what she's losing. She thinks she's missing out on this big beach party that's going on and all her friends got to be a part of. And a lot of times they'll cheat on you for that reason. Because they see you as maybe being boring and, everything, and there's better stuff going on out there. They don't know yet because they haven't had a chance. That's why I say a lot of times, man, really one of the best things you could do with a woman is give her a chance to see that men ain't shit. I mean, let them get a little older and let them get out there and see the world and see that, really ain't going to be a whole lot of dudes out there that's willing to wife them up, especially if the dude is about something. That's just how it is. I mean, I don't got to tell women there ain't a lot of dudes out there trying to wife them up and that are about something. They already know that. And guys, we know that too. Anyway, so number 2 reason for women to cheat is, and I know some people going to get mad at me for saying this, it is going to be the realest thing you ever heard about this situation. You're going to get mad at first probably, but think about it. They're cheaters. Totally different. See, when you deal with men, every dude is a cheater if something happens. And when I say every dude, I know there's going to be some exceptions to the rule. They're like, I wouldn't do this, blah, blah, blah. Look, you can't be 5'3" and play in the NBA. Now, some people who know their NBA history know that there was a guy who was named Muggsy Bogues who was 5'3". He played in the NBA and had a really good career. I'm still saying you can't be 5'3" and play in the NBA. He is an exception to a rule. And really, if you look at his abilities, he is an exception that proves the damn rule. Okay? So every guy is a cheater under certain circumstances. They just have to you got to pull the right strings and they would cheat. That's not the case with every woman. But if you have a woman who is a cheater, that means that you have to have a damn near perfect relationship. I'm not saying y'all don't ever argue or anything like that, but she has to be getting every single thing she possibly can out of that relationship in order for her not to cheat. Now, for most women, that's just not the case. You could be in prison for 10 years and they won't cheat on you. You go to prison for a year and your dude will cheat on you. How often do you see... I used to work in a jail. You know how many guys I saw visiting their women? Like, you got visitation day, right? You will have women lined up around the corner to come see some dude that's been in jail for like a year. You go do visitation on the women's side, their mama might come, their kids might come, But you don't see now. Maybe you might see one dude in 2 or 3 weeks. Anybody who's ever been to jail knows exactly what I'm talking about. You might see one dude, one in 2 or 3 weeks, because that's just how dudes are. You go to jail, you go through some stuff. They like, hey, I'm out of here, or I'm cheating. That's just how guys are, because they look at it like, I have to be getting this, this, and this out of a relationship, or cheating is a viable option for me. For women, if they're not a cheater, it's not a viable option for them. But if they are a cheater, if you don't have everything right, it's a viable option. People say, oh, what about women who cheat because the sex isn't good? If they're a cheater, they cheat because the sex isn't good. I talk to hundreds of women who are with dudes who the sex isn't good, and I'm like, have you cheated on them? No. What? That's crazy. Because it's just not how they think. Women often see being with a guy as a means of keeping them from having random sex with dudes. Guys see being with a woman as something blocking them from having random sex with women. They're like, hey, there's all these women out here that I could get with, and being with you is stopping me from doing that. So if this ain't a great situation that I'm in, I'm getting up out of here. I'm cheating with these other girls because you're blocking me from being with them. A man isn't blocking a woman from having random sex with dudes. She didn't want to do that in the first place, unless she was a cheater. You see what I'm saying? She didn't want to even do that in the first place. Most women, when they get with a guy, they don't want to have no random sex with a bunch of other dudes. They could have done that while they were single. They don't want to do that. It ain't like it's just that guy that's stopping them from doing it. It's what's going on inside of them. When you deal with a woman, for the most part, if you're dealing with a loyal woman who's not really a cheater, it doesn't necessarily matter who you are so much as that's just a rigid moral code that she has. You being perfect really isn't the case. You don't have to be, you don't have to put up so much for her to be able to just say, I'm not going to cheat. She'll dump you first. If the sex is just horrible, she'll probably be like, okay, I'm probably going to move on. She might start talking to somebody first, but this is about sexual cheating. She might start talking to somebody first and transition from you, but she's not just going to have sex with another dude. For a woman who's not a cheater to do that, she has to cut off emotional ties to you before she can go have sex with somebody else. A lot of women will tell you what I'm talking about right there. They have to cut off those emotional ties. Now, for a woman who's a cheater, she's basically operating like a dude, where she doesn't have to cut off emotional ties to cheat with you. So when things are going south, things are going a little bit down or out, she'll cheat on you immediately. So you want to try to make sure you're picking a girl. If you don't want to have to ever worry about that, you can just pick a girl who's not a cheater. And one of the biggest ways to see that is like how many other people have she cheated on? How does she carry herself and handle herself sexually to begin with? Those are things that you need to look for, and that'll kind of tell you. If you to try to avoid somebody who's too young, how have they lived their life? Have they been in a serious relationship before? You know what I'm saying? Those kind of things. If you look at that, it's going to kind of tell you what kind of girl you're dealing with. Now, the last one, and this is the biggest reason why you see a lot of women cheat. Remember, I told you that the average woman is not a cheater. The biggest reason why you see most women cheat is they lost all respect for you. Now, when a woman loses all respect for you, that is generally shit you did. I know some of y'all may get mad at me, but that is generally stuff that you did to her. You have basically broken this woman down and beaten her into submission. She wasn't a cheater when you met her, but you beat her into submission. You basically done messed up so many times, you probably already know. By the time, probably cheated on this woman 150 times. You done dogged her. And it ain't just that, because a lot of times you cheat on a woman 150 times and she still won't cheat on you. You have dogged this woman in so many ways that you have made it to where she wants to put the ultimate hurt on you. The cheating isn't about this other dude. It's about really just wanting to she really would like to stab you in the eye with a fork. But this is her best way of doing it because she knows it's going to hurt you worse. When you get a woman to this point, that relationship is pretty much over. Because you have taken every bit of affection that she has for you and caused her to just toss that in the garbage. Because you just dogged that woman so bad. I know a lot of guys are, oh, why is it the guy's fault? Hey, if you take a woman who's not willing to cheat on you and you get her to cheat on you, you had to take that girl a long way. You had to take her through the burning sands, butt naked, and then rub alcohol on the burns. You dogged that girl out to get her to that point. I'm just keeping it real. Hopefully I was able to help you out Once again, it's your man, ChazzEllis. Make sure you like and subscribe and share this video with somebody else. Peace.